from Detroit to the nations. You are listening to the world's #1 Christian station, Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions.
Welcome to Glamour Shop Talk with your host, Vicki Johnson.
Hi, listening audience. I want to let you know that we have an awesome, exciting show today. We are joined today with someone who you guys have heard from before, Miss Jaja Porche, our natural hair professional and specialist. And we have an awesome opportunity to speak with her. And she's going to share with us her experience that she had this past weekend. She was a special guest at the All Curls Wanted seminar, where she was with a panel of women who were giving advice and answering awesome questions. But before we get started, we just want to first of all acknowledge God and have a word of prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this awesome day. This is the day that you have made, and we are rejoicing and we're glad for the opportunities that you give us to glorify you and to use our giftings to bless your people. Hi, Jaja.
Hi, Vicki.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
And thank you for coming out again and being our guest on Worship Center Radio. And I am just so excited for you.
Yes, God is so good.
Isn't he good,
He is
girl?
just amazing. Just all that we can ask or
Oh, I'm telling
everything.
you.
Yes, he is.
And you know
Awesome.
what? He has just anointed your not only your hands, but just your heart.
Yes, yes.
And giving you his plan. And you're walking that plan out. So I'm not going to spend up a whole lot of time talking. I just want you to take over here, and I'll ask you questions. But I understand that this Saturday evening past, which would have been actually, was that October the 16th?
The 17th.
17th?
Yes.
You were at the All Curls Wanted seminar or
Yep. It was a seminar.
symposium.
Yep. It was for a product company called Males Organics.
Oh, wonderful.
With the host, Janae Mason. She actually invited me to come in. She wanted a professional natural hairstylist to
Wow.
come in
That's you.
and be a part of her panel, question and answer panel, to answer questions and to also help give consultations to ladies that were there at the event.
Wonderful.
So that was a great opportunity
Oh,
to
gosh.
network
Yes.
and meet new curl friends.
Yes.
That's what we call our
Yeah.
curl friends.
I
And
love
just
curl
mingle. It was an
friends.
awesome laid-back event. It was
Wow.
really nice. The atmosphere was awesome. It was located at Duo Restaurant and
Yes.
Lounge.
Okay.
And I believe that's Southfield, Michigan.
Yes,
And
right there on Northwestern.
on Northwestern Highway. Yeah.
That was fabulous.
It was fabulous and just positive energy.
Wow.
It was about 50 of us there.
That
the
was
event
wonderful.
was sold out.
Wonderful.
And it was just a good time, great food,
Uh-huh.
great gifts. We
Wow.
got nice goodie bags
Oh,
from the
that's
product company. And
Okay.
it was just a great time.
So
great time.
the question I want to ask you, first of all, how did you get chosen by Miss Mason? I mean, how did you two hook up?
Well, I actually met her at Naturally Fly Detroit, the event that was held earlier this year. She was a photographer there, and I introduced myself to her and told her I subscribe to her YouTube channel. She has a
wonderful.
YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
And so we just introduced ourselves to each other. I gave her my information. She gave me hers. And then I hadn't seen her since then,
Wow.
but she would occasionally shout me out on her Instagram page when people would ask her questions about natural hairstylists
Okay.
in Detroit. And I would be one of her top pick that she would suggest.
Wow.
So that was a blessing that she remembered me and
Yes.
she, kept me in the back of her mind. And she also emailed me and asked
Wow.
me would I be a part of the panel. So that
Such a
was just
great
blessing.
opening for the
yeah,
Lord.
It is nothing but God.
Yeah, I think that when you present yourself in excellence,
Mm-hmm.
that is the way God allows you to stand out.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, that's why He says to do all things as unto Him.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so that is awesome. She was a photographer.
Yes, she was a photographer at the
And let me tell you, this place, I mean, the seminar that you met her at, it was jam-packed.
It was a lot of people there.
Yeah. What would you say, maybe about 4,000 or 5,000?
Yeah, 4,000 or 5,000.
Because it was an all-day event, so it's people in
coming
and out.
In and out. That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, in saying that, for you to stand out, and
Amongst all those
she
people.
feels as though you were the expert.
Yes.
That says something. That says something about the gift.
Yes.
Okay.
Praise God.
So
Glory to God.
the gift is awesome. It's awesome.
Praise God.
So you met her at Naturally Fly Detroit.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about, is this her product?
No, she's actually the brand ambassador of the product.
What does that mean?
She represents the product, or she helps with trying them out, and she's like the leading girl for the product. So I believe this product company probably endorsed her in to
Gotcha.
help, sell their products because she does a lot of tutorials on her YouTube channel.
Oh.
So when you are a YouTuber, a vlogger, a lot of product companies will reach out to you
Oh, gotcha.
and ask you if you could be a part of their company and help promote their products. So she put on this event specifically for that product company.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me some more about the product. What do you know about the product? How do you feel about the product?
Well, so far, I haven't experienced a lot with the product,
Okay.
but they do have a lot of great product options. They have co-wash, which is a cleansing conditioner. They have awesome moisturizing shampoos.
Okay.
Not a lot of styling products, but more just basic
Cleansing.
care for the hair. So
Okay.
you have your moisturizer, you have an awesome almond oil
Okay.
from the product.
Oh, that's good.
All organic, certified.
Okay.
That's in the product. And yeah, so it was great. I got a chance to feel it and smell it, and yeah, it was awesome.
So how do you get this product? I mean, is it for professional use only?
You actually go on her website, which is maleorganics.com,
Okay.
and you can order it there. So it's not an actual professional just for, hairstylists or anyone,
Gotcha.
but anyone can go.
Can get it.
Can get it.
So let's talk a little bit more about the actual program there. You said it was 50, which is a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say, and it was a Q&A situation. What were some of the topics that you all discussed?
Okay. First, Janae, she did a demonstration on
Okay.
her godmother where she just showed a quick updo that she's done on her channel, and then she actually had me introduce myself and talk to the girls live, just kind of do a little presentation, and she wanted me to talk about hair typing, which is describing and explaining different hair types and textures.
Okay.
They have a range from 2 to 4.
Okay.
So my hair type would be in the 4 range.
Okay.
And so just kind of giving the curl friends
Okay.
why we hair type,
Okay.
or what is the benefit of hair typing.
Okay.
So
and
that
really
was
kind of just breaking down the new phenomenon.
correct.
Is that what you? Okay.
Yeah, and one of the reasons you may like to hair type is just to help kind of know what you're working with, what's
Right.
growing out your scalp, what specific products work best for your texture of
Okay.
hair. So that was something that I talked about, and also just kind of giving basic on how to build a healthy hair regimen for your hair.
Now, did you also do some practical work there while you were doing the Q&A?
No practical work, just and it was 3 of us on a panel. One was
okay.
another blogger.
Okay.
Janae was one, and then I was another
Gotcha.
one. And so we just kind of freestyled, just with the
good.
audience
That's
asking us whatever they
Okay.
wanted to ask, and then we just answered their questions. And it was just awesome because when a lot of them, of course, were asking about hair. So when they were asked the question, the first thing the 2 girls would do, they would lean over to the side and look at me like, like, you know how to answer, go ahead and answer the question. So it was just so awesome. And it was such a blessing to be able to use all the knowledge and education and all the
they
research.
acknowledge you as the expert.
Exactly.
Because
and
of
I really
your
appreciated
license,
that. Correct.
your experience in the field,
Yes.
and then your specialty, deciding to be a specialist.
Yes.
Because just to let people know, if you have not heard the previous broadcast, Jaja is not only a natural hair specialist, but prior to that, she has her license in cosmetology. She has 5 years under her belt of doing that, and she comes from a line of cosmetologists. Her mom was a cosmetologist
Yes.
as well, so she's been in and around the industry for a long time. I want to take this time too that if you are out there listening, you can call in and ask questions of Miss Jaja Porcher yourself. The number you will call in is 248-796-8241. 248-796-8241. We are live right now, and we would like you to call in if you have any questions or comments. And also, if this is just a time that you want to listen, but you want to make an appointment with Jaja, you can contact her at Glamour Salon, and the number there is 248-423-7776, 248-423-7776. That is if you would like to make a personal appointment with her. So we're going to get back and talk about this awesome event.
Yes.
And we know that many more are coming, so we're going to have you give your information if they want to keep in touch with you, because you're on Instagram. You're known as Naturally Glamorous, and that is your tagline. That's your branding name. So we want to talk about those some more that went on, because natural hair is something that it's not just letting your hair go, washing your hair and letting it go, but it is a regimen.
Correct.
It is learning how to, first of all, examine your hair.
Correct.
What would be the best style for it? How to maintain it? What's the product like? How often do I still need to see a professional?
Correct. Yes.
So let's talk about that. You go ahead and kind of expound on that.
Okay. So one awesome thing that I got a chance to do was to meet one-on-one with some of the ladies there. And so a lot of their questions were, I'm having itchy scalp, or how often should I shampoo my hair, or this product isn't working for me. And just, like I said, given my knowledge and wisdom on all the education that I've been able to receive and research, just being able to share that with those women was just a blessing.
It
just
is.
a blessing.
It is.
So one of the things that with natural hair care is we still want to cleanse our scalp. We want to do that once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Finding the right ingredients is also very important for our hair. Conditioning, moisture is the key to having healthy, natural hair.
Okay.
I also say start off with a goal. Start off with a vision for what do you want to look like? Because you, like you said, you can't just let yourself go.
Because you will be representing
Right.
natural hair in not a positive way.
Correct.
So
you still want to look polished.
Yes.
You want to look presentable.
Yes.
But you find kind of like who you are.
Right.
You build your self-esteem during
Right.
this process because
Right.
it's a really different mindset. You don't look like everyone else.
Exactly.
So you'll get a lot of stares. You get a lot of people wanting to touch your hair and
Yes.
things like that. But
Yes.
it does definitely help build self-esteem for yourself
Okay.
and just finding, that you're beautiful with natural hair.
And you have to define what is natural hair, because I think we have so many different definitions.
Yes.
And it's not a wrong or right definition.
No.
Because some people feel as though, well, if you're going to wear natural hair, that means no chemicals.
Yes, correct. So
at all. That's including color.
Exactly.
So tell me, what is natural hair?
Natural hair is just natural texture without any chemical added. So for me, that would mean relaxers, no perm, that has actually reconstructed your actual cuticle and changed it into something different.
Okay.
That's my definition of natural
Okay.
hair. So for me, a press and curl is still a natural
Okay, because see,
hairstyle.
that's the because we can make anything into a law.
Correct.
But I don't think that when you're dealing with the hair industry, I think you have to have the room to have creativity.
Correct. Yeah.
And the definition can't be so straight and narrow, because anybody that deals in a creative area would get bored, stagnant,
Yeah.
and just non-productive.
Yeah, and you still want to be able to service everyone.
Exactly.
So not just natural people, because specializing in natural hair also helps me learn how to take care of people with relaxers even better. You know, just the science behind
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
What more product do I need to help take care of this one versus a natural hair
Yeah.
person? So it helps everyone.
Broadens your
it does
knowledge
my
base.
knowledge with hair. Yes,
Yeah,
it
and I think
definitely
that's
does.
so important. And to me, it's not enough just to label yourself as natural hair.
Correct.
I think education makes a difference. Certification makes a difference. Can you get certified in natural hair?
There are some schools I've seen that just work on natural hair. I'm not sure if it's just for professionals.
Got you.
But I haven't done a lot of research on that. But I have
Okay.
come across schools like on the internet that are doing classes for those that would like to specialize in
Okay.
natural hair. Because I find that not a lot of people, even on YouTube, that are doing a lot of demonstrations and just working on natural hair are licensed cosmetologists.
Wow.
So I guess.
So how do you feel about that? Because personally,
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you're not careful and you don't have a professional involved with your experience, that it can go awry and it can have some negative outcomes.
Correct. So
if you're not careful.
yeah. So what I don't like, well, not in favor of, is doing the demonstration on other people. But it's okay with it's a friend or family members. I have
Right.
seen a lot of that. And then just working on your hair. So if you're not a specialist, then just do demonstrations on yourself. So I've seen a lot of that.
Okay.
Because there is so much information, a lot of blogs, a lot of websites that you
Yeah.
can go on for anyone to go and just gain
Right.
education on. They have scientists that
Right.
specialize, that wear their hair natural, and
Right.
they've used hair as a tool
Okay.
to help kind of educate women. So, just be cautious
Yeah.
on who you
Well, I
work
think
with.
that's
Yeah.
the internet in this day and time, period.
You
got to
can
be
find
cautious.
anything, correct.
And you can find a lot
Yes.
of anything on there.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
that can be an issue. So there are people out here that are certified. There are people that are not certified. Because, as you know, last week we had Erica, who is the owner of All Locked Up. And we talked to her, and that was a certification. That's a natural hair service.
Okay.
But we're talking, you're not in that particular type of service.
No.
That is more of it's not a dreadlock, because I don't want to misrepresent, but it is a procedure where it's a locking procedure.
Correct.
What you do is you take that person's hair and you maximize it
Correct.
to its fullest potential in terms of its style, its conditioning, its appearance.
Yes.
And you tailor it to the individual.
That's right. Yeah.
So, be it a person who comes in and wants, like yourself, what would you call your hairstyle, your natural style?
My hairstyle would actually be considered a wash and go,
Okay.
Which is where you shampoo your hair and you style it in your natural curl pattern,
Okay.
Without any form of manipulation.
Got you.
That's what a wash and go means.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that you just put the conditioner on and then you air dried and walked out the door. I still had to put a styling product in it to hold my curls,
Okay.
but I did not twist it or anything
you.
to get it to stay like that.
Okay.
So that's what a wash and go means.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so tell me about some of the other services that you give.
Okay, so some other services that I give are twists, two-strand twists, which is an awesome protective style where you can twist the hair, no hair added, and just have individual twists. And it's a versatile style. If you wanna, if your hair is long enough, you can pull it up or put it away.
Okay.
So it's another great style to not have to do anything to your hair
Gotcha.
every day. Rod sets, which is one of our popular natural hairstyles, where you use different rods. You can use a perm rod, your flexi rod set. That's another service that we offer.
Okay.
Also, twist outs, which is your two-strand twist. You're letting it dry, and then you're wearing it in this crinkly, curly state.
Yes.
Braids is another service that I offer. Bantu knot is a service that I offer, which is where you ravel the hair and you put it in little knots. And once that dries, it takes a long time to dry. So a lot of our clients would just walk out with that hairstyle.
Right.
And then once it dries, it
But it's a
unravels
very
into
attractive
a nice
look.
It is. It's really pretty. And it's a different type of curl pattern as well. So it just depends on what you're looking for, what's your lifestyle, how often do you want to do your hair, because natural hair is a lot of work. It's a lot of upkeep.
Okay. Now let me ask you this as well. How long will these particular styles that you just shared with me, how long do they last?
Well, it depends on the client's texture.
Okay.
If your hair is fine, if your curl pattern is looser, if you're doing a twist out or a bantu knot, the style will probably not last for no longer than 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
Now, if you have fine or soft texture, then a wet set, if you're looking for longevity, a wet set, a two-strand twist set will possibly be a style that you could get at least a week out of without having to, wash it. And then if you have thick hair, of course, and your hair type is really curly, those textures seems to hold styles a lot longer. So it just depends on that texture of the hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now, so when a person comes in and they ask for you, you'll give them a what?
Consultation, and then we will I will ask them, what are you looking for in your hair? How long do you want it to last? How much work do you want to do when you get home? What have you been doing to your hair? I will analyze how it feels, maybe do a porosity test on them, and just get
What is a porosity test?
A porosity, what porosity is just how the hair retains moisture. So you have low porosity, you have normal, and then you have high porosity test.
So how do you determine that? Because, we're professionals, so we know. So, but we want to educate, and you do a very good job at doing that.
Yes.
So, what would they expect when they come in, get a consultation, and you say, okay, I'm going to give you a porosity test.
Right. So one of them you can do is you can actually take shedded hair and do a water in a cup test. And if it floats, it's possibly high porosity. And if it stays down, it's low porosity. So that's one of the tests. And the elasticity test is when we stretch the strand and see if it breaks or not. That'll also tell us how strong or how healthy the hair is. If it can stand chemicals.
Gotcha.
That will also help us decide what to do with the hair and how
Okay.
far we can go.
Oh,
Because
great.
a lot of people can come in and they, just because they think they have natural hair, they think it's healthy and they
Yeah.
can do anything.
Yeah.
And that's not
That's not
necessarily
the case.
true. Correct.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. You're educating them. First of all, they probably never heard of a porosity test.
Correct.
Or
Correct.
elasticity test.
Yes.
You know, as being something that they should even obtain. And
that's one of the main reasons why they need a professional stylist to do their hair.
I totally agree.
Yes,
I
yes.
totally agree. Because as you said, natural doesn't all necessarily mean healthy.
Correct.
And so how do you feel about mixing synthetic hair with natural hair?
If depends again,
Again.
if your hair is fine,
Yeah.
synthetic hair may not be the best option to continue to use with braiding and
Okay.
things like that. But it's okay if you use it for a short period
Yeah.
of time, but that's not something you want to do as a go-to
Okay.
thing when it comes
Because
to
see, that's
braiding.
important. I know we have.
Or allergic reactions.
There
Some
you
people
go.
are allergic. They
Yeah.
have sensitive scalps. So that's another case to not use synthetic hair.
Yeah, that's so important because I know a lot of us, when we want to get maybe the transitioning of going from a chemical to natural hair, we'll go to the braiding. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting, or the
Okay.
twist sets.
Yeah.
And if that's going to be done for a long period of time, we don't realize that we can damage our new hair.
That's right.
With the synthetic hair,
synthetic
and as well as the old hair is damaged.
Yeah.
And so you might not necessarily know that, and you think that you're doing something to help the cause, and you're not.
And you're making it worse.
And you're
yeah.
making it worse.
Because you're dealing with two textures of hair when you're transitioning.
Okay.
So you're dealing with your natural texture and then a relaxed texture. And that natural texture is removing moisture from that chemical texture.
Right.
So you have to consistently moisturize in your hair. So
Okay.
putting braids in for more than 3 months or a year,
Right.
you're not moisturizing your hair properly. So when you take those braids out, your hair is still going to be really weak, damaged, and it's going to be breaking.
So you
a
need
lot
the-
of time people will transition because they want to retain length.
Wow.
So, you know,
Now, what do you
it's just-
do for that?
Well,
Because
I
you
would
know,
suggest-
really, you have a service also called the Big Chop.
Yeah. Your big chop is where you take your relaxed hair or your straight hair and you cut it from the demarcation from the natural and the straight hair. So my suggestion when it comes to transitioning is to wet set.
Got you.
You know, do your
See?
wet sets.
That's why you
Or-
need a professional. That's why she is a professional.
Yeah, that's one of the services that you can do, and that also helps with learning your hair throughout that transition process.
Okay.
Because you can't learn your hair
Okay.
and get to know it when it's in braids, because all you're doing is you're just putting it up.
That's true.
So the transitioning helps to properly condition it, because you
Okay.
still have to shampoo your hair once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Right.
It also helps to do the proper pre-treatments with hot oils or your reconstructing treatments, maybe a keratin shot.
Okay.
You know, those
Yeah.
services like that, just to help keep it strong while it's going through that transition phase, because it's very fragile when you're
Okay.
transitioning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Shasha, you have really just enlightened us today
Yeah.
and given us the full spectrum of what natural hair is all about. And I know our listening audience is just really, in awe
Well, amen.
of what you're saying. And once again, I want you, for our last few minutes, just to tell us, number one, how do we get in touch with you? Where can they see some of your work? Also, once again, I think you shared with me that it was going to be some pictures on a website
Yeah.
of this past
On-
experience you had.
On Instagram, you can follow me at Naturally Glamour Us on Instagram. And you can also retain the pictures from the event from this past Saturday at All Girls Wanted as well on Instagram. You can also follow me on Facebook and the salon, which is Glamour Salons, where you can also look at our work, our hairstyles, meet our different stylists on there, and also get motivation and hair tips on Instagram as well.
Okay.
And
Give 'em
call
your-
us on at Glamour Salon on 248-423-7776.
And where else? I think, don't you have a website or something?
Well, I have my email address if you also want to
Yes.
send an email, jajaprochet@gmail.com.
Spell that, Les.
And my first name, ZSH, PROCHE @gmail.com.
Thank you, listening audience. We enjoyed ya.
Salons.com.